Tonight, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Joe Burrow and the Houston Texans taking on Justin Fields and the Miami Dolphins.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks.
Yeah, we send Odell to the best team in the league.
Without a top-flight quarterback, the way the game is played,
welcome, Odell.
with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So out comes
because they have them 2 years too old.
They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Now Burrow loses the football. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football. But now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now a first down throw, Fields. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
He's going to fire one, corner of the end zone, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team, both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
Loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Burrow. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at the 23. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Well, be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
Here we go. 180.
Here's Burrow. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Here's a give to Mixon. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Off play action. Fields. He'll buy some time right.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
That's caught. Touchdown.
Henry Ruggs.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because it's just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear a coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Houston's offense taking over again.
Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on 1st down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up 2nd and 3rd down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back. But, boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Only able to gain a couple there. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 and 6 and went out in the 1st round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
And He'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And that's patience to be admired right there, because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Burrow on play action. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play in a quick strike.
Again, it's Burrow. He'll get this underneath to Madison. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
Madison. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Alexander Madison with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
On 1st down, it's Fields. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 2 minutes remaining in the 1st half. 10-7, our score. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. 1st down. Here's Burrow. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And they go play action now. Burrow. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
That was one heck of a catch right there. Got his eye on it the whole way and able to make the grab one-handed. Very nicely done, and for a nice chunk of yardage, too.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now Burrow on first down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Burrow will throw. His throw incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To the air again, Burrow. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Burrow. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown, Texans. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have taken the lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. That time a 6-play drive. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this 1st half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Wide open receiver complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. On 1st down, Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
2nd and 10. Now Fields. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. Mixon with a 1st down and more. And he gets this one down to the 24. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. They'll roll him out right. And Fields going to have the 1st down before sliding to a hold to avoid the contact. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. On play action, Fields. Flush to his right. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now it's Fields sliding out of the pocket. And it's caught.
Touchdown, Dolphins. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the third quarter. So they potentially could go up 2 scores before the other guys. Get a chance to do anything.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Seconds, all that remain here in this first half as the kick gets away. Taken in at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, where you see the final score there. Alvin Kamara, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. From there, we head a little further north up to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. James Robinson, a touchdown run in the victory. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. Trey Lance leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
From the gun, they'll try to run it, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Bryce Hall. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 33. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, this is Madison. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Rashawn Slater, first-round pick in 2021, guilty there. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Burrow looking to pass. That's complete to Davis. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll lead here to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Samson Abukum drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up fourth down.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They played the Browns last week, got the victory in that game, and so far so good as they've got the lead here. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Play action. It's Fields. On the move to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Hey, baby, this ain't good enough for us.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Miami. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes this out, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a give to Madison. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
After have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Five yards remain on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Fields. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. The 30. 10. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides. So I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle. But that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play. And the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they have to try and move past that pick 6 because now they're dealing with a 4th quarter deficit. And they need this drive to end in points. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Fields on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Escaping the pressure right. Looking for Kelsey on the deep ball.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here's Fields.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
From the gun, here's Fields.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
Fields now to throw.
Now they go screen. It's complete. Touchdown. A great effort there.
Let's go, Flores.
Touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are once again going to retake the lead.
A late turnover is so often the difference in a ball game, and here the turnover leads.
Texans is tough.
So repeat after me, partner. You have to take care of the football. In order to protect a lead, you must take care of the football. Ball security. How many times do they have to say it? They've been preaching it since day 1 of camp, and it came back to bite them right there.
Tucker with the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense.
And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
This will be caught. It's Waddle.
Touchdown, Houston.
Jalen Waddle.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that will make this a 4-point game.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Miami
Miami's offense set and ready to go. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Fields. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at second down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Here's Fields. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Got his connection complete to Ruggs. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A shotgun snap, Fields. Forced out to his left. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. So he rolls out of the pocket left, just ends up finding a safety valve, but no gain there.
No gain, but it looked like they were well coached on the play because he still went through his progressions, and the receivers know that when the quarterback exits the pocket, they have to find routes to run now to get into his sight lines and try and help him out. End up throwing it short to the running back. Give the defense credit for not giving up any yardage.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the 4th.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So now the Texans down on the scoreboard. 90 seconds remaining. Their undefeated season, it's in danger unless they can score here as they've got a 1st and 10. Now Burrow. He's got to complete to Waddle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Pass complete. It's Madison. Powering his way forward. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down. Got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have as well as understand where they are in the field?
Throwing, Burrow. He completes it to Becker. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
This goes out wide from Madison. Will go down as a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Burrow. He's got his tight end fan. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On the handoff, it's Madison. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it quicker.
A little bit of a cat and mouse. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off near the 29. And the Texans are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last